Question 24 is our punctuations. When we have these punctuation questions, the foremost rule you must process on these questions is to fully read the corresponding sentence so that we know how to organize our phrase and clause and how to organize our sentence. So assuming that you know from digital artists all the way down to books, to manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature of her work, though she occasionally relies on more traditional art techniques such as paintings with. So what I see here is that my subject here is she. This is our subject, and our verb is going to be she relies on more traditional art techniques. This is our verb, and this is our object. And so what we are asked to do here, to manifest, this is a infinitive that acts as an adverb. So we have an adverbial phrase that acts as a dependent clause. Adverbial clause is our dependent clause. To manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature of her work, though. Notice how this though is placed in middle of a sentence. So we need to put a comma after work, comma after though. She, because we need to put something here before we begin our subject she. Right? So we must have some kind of punctuation after though. That's for sure. This we can't do because you're chopping off the sentence using a semicolon. A semicolon is used at the end of a sentence or in middle of long phrasal lists. So this we can't do. This we also cannot do because, again, if you're putting semicolon after work, you are claiming that we're done with this idea. To say that to manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature of our work, this choice C would be a fragment choice because this is like what you did. You put a semicolon at the end of a dependent clause. So we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to do that. I'm going to get rid of choice C. And after, if we choose B, work, to manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature of her work, comma, though she occasionally relies, you know what this is? This is called run on because I need to read my subject she most clearly at the end as I pause my dependent clause and continue on with she like this. So this breaks my clarity. I can't have that. So going back to choice A, just to be clear, choice A, which is our correct answer, let's read and see if we can clearly comprehend our subject and verb followed by this dependent clause. So to manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature of her work, though she occasionally relies. So this though technically can be placed in the beginning of a sentence, but if you do that, because of the nature of our infinitive here, to manifest, we can't. It's not grammatically correct to say though, comma, to manifest. That would be very awkward phrasing, right? So we do to manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature of her work, though she occasionally relies on more traditional art techniques. So reading this clearly with proper punctuations of comma and comma after though, we can choose A as our correct answer. And again, go through the choices B, C, D and see why these cannot work. We're committing a run-on, fragment, and a fragment here. Run-on, fragment, and a fragment here. I will color choice A as our correct answer.